Hey everybody, this is Dr. Torchio and
Dr. Torchio.
Dr. Torchio Squared, and welcome to the Pangea Health Podcast, where we bring you all kinds of amazing health topics and conversations 2 times per month, and we get our ideas and our topics from you because we take care of a lot of you and we know what people are talking about.
What they're looking for.
And what they're looking for. So today's episode is on fertility, which has been a growing concern over the past 12 years since we've been treating patients.
Definitely.
It's continuing to grow and it's becoming a major issue for young parents that are wanting to start a family.
So I think right now when they're looking at birth rates, we actually have the lowest birth rate that we've ever had before. So there's only 1.65 children being born right now. So we're not even replacing ourselves. So that's the first.
1.65 children being born?
I know. It means that people are having 1 to 2 kids and that's it.
Oh. So people are
That's
having either 1 or 2 kids.
Yes, and then that's it, which isn't good because that means we're not replacing ourselves here in the United States. We have a population decline.
We do.
And then not only that, infertility is a big struggle for a lot of people, even with they would say like the fertile ages of 19 to 42 is kind of like their fertile window that they give. 20% of people have fertility issues. And of those, men are not exempt from this. About 30 to 50% of all of infertility comes through the male.
Yeah.
So this is, I think for a long time, it was just a women's issue. But as they've done more and more research, they realize that men are equally one of, if not an equal contributor to the issue. And so we have to look at this from both sides.
Which makes sense. We're half of the equation.
Of course.
But in so many times, it's like, and women are more proactive with their health.
Yes.
So we hear this more from the women. And the men, we just don't ever hear. Typically.
No, you're right.
Typically, it's like a society views it as a feminine issue.
A female issue.
Really, it's
she can't get pregnant. She can't carry.
It's mutually inclusive. It's a male and female challenge right now. And the other thing that I was just thinking about is couples aren't having children as young as they used to.
I know.
So the birth age has increased by, 10, 12, 15 years.
Yep. A lot of people, I know people are going to start trying and they're like just getting ready to turn 40.
Yeah.
And now you're going to start. I'm like, well, your window's gotten smaller. And so if you're having fertility issues, you gave yourself a really small window to try to get things where they're supposed to be.
So this is this is like a never-ending conversation.
Yeah, it gets deeper and deeper.
But as we look back, with birth control coming into play, so a lot of times we have a young couple who are just getting ready to start a family, and the woman has been on birth control for 15, 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
So the hormone cycles, the cell function, everything has been altered for 20 years. And sometimes it's not a non-issue, but I believe that the majority of the time it's a major issue.
Well, they know that now, scientifically, researching-wise. They know that any sort of contraceptive leads to infertility.
100%. So this is a massive, it's like, where do you want to start? Now we're going to start at the beginning. We're just going to start at a certain point. But listeners just know that this is a major issue that really to get it addressed, I think it's important for young parents to start having conversations now when their kids are young to how to help support, protect, and educate their young children on what
mistakes have been made.
Yeah.
What mistakes have been made. We know some things that are contributing to the infertility. So realistically, even us, as we have young kids, as they start, as they grow older and they start dealing with hormones and they start dealing with cycles or whatever it may be, all of those things and all the things that we choose to do right now is actually going to have an effect on them being able to
10, 15, 20 years down the road.
Exactly. So that's the hard part. Things that they're choosing right now will have an effect fertility-wise later.
Yeah, so parents, there's an emphasis on having these conversations. But now let's meet somewhere in the middle of the storyline.
Yes, where are we at?
So now there's a young or middle-aged guy or gal that wants to start having a family and is maybe up against some challenges?
Yeah. I mean, as in our profession, we always go as far upstream as we possibly can. So we're like, okay, let's go to the control center. Let's go to the place that's controlling all of the cells and the tissues and these organs that we're going to be using to produce a baby. How and in what way can we support them? So we always start with
chiropractic.
Yeah, we always start with the adjustment. We always start with
system.
opening the nervous system and getting it communicating as close to 100% as we possibly can. And it's always a missing link.
It's always a missing link, like 100% of the time.
We've worked with so many couples that had fertility issues, and lo and behold, you start getting adjusted, you start opening those pathways, brain back to the body, and all of a sudden someone that was labeled as infertile is all of a sudden pregnant. They're like, I didn't even know I could get pregnant, and now I am.
We've been trying to get pregnant for 7-10 years.
Yep.
And then something miraculously happened a month after getting adjusted.
Yeah.
Right. And so if you're a regular listener, you know that every single episode we always start or end with chiropractic, because it is the missing link between all conditions, and neurological function is the number one thing that's overlooked in the Western model.
Yeah, I know. If you listen to this podcast, you're probably like, these people think that chiropractic can help everything. Yeah. Like, is this a panacea? They think this is the thing that can help all things. And the answer is because it's the thing that can help all things, because it's the controlling system of all the things.
Right.
So You're right. If you're thinking that and thinking that in your brain, like, these people think the chiropractic can help everything, you're right. I agree.
You know, if you're driving down the road in your car gets a check engine light on, it doesn't tell you where the problem is, but you plug in the computer and then it reads the code and it tells you what the problem is.
Yep.
Well, that computer and that plug is your nerve system that tells us where the challenges are. But nobody does this for anything else in their life, but they do it for their health.
Yes.
So adjustments are primary.
Start there. All right. Where do you want to go next?
Okay. Detox. So we're scratching the surface on some major points here.
We're going to go, this is very surface level because it can get deep really, really fast.
So when it comes to detoxifying, I think that this is like in vogue. Like, detox has become popular. There's been a lot of products on the market. There's 6-day deep whole body juice cleanses. You can go on Facebook and scroll for 3 minutes and get pitched an offer to buy this magic tablet that's going to detox your system. So people are up to speed with this. I mean, even with some of the work that RFK's been doing, like, people are there. The challenge is that there's not a silver bullet to just detox your body.
And it takes a while.
Takes a long time.
It takes a long time.
So there's a heavy metal component. There's
you look at molds.
There's heavy metals, there's molds, there's environmental toxins, there's parasites. Any doctor could spend their entire life in one of those areas and still not fully understand and master it. So there's multiple components, but at the end of the day, the one thing that we know to be true is our body is like a sponge, and it's absorbing pollutants from, unfortunately, sometimes inside our body, causing problems like heavy metals, amalgam fillings, mercury, vaccine products. So some of that stuff gets into our body and it can't get out and it wreaks havoc. Other times our body's absorbing these things from our environment. So whether it be, stuff that's in the air, stuff that's coming out of our carpets and out of our beds and out of our clothing. So we're constantly absorbing all these toxins, and the beautiful thing is we have a detoxification system inside of us. But when that detoxification system from external, internal, and different products and medications that we take, the glass can only fill up so much before it starts to overflow. And the overflow is what triggers different systems in the body to shut down.
Whether it's hormonal imbalance being one of them, and fertility being the downstream effect of something else that's going on, whether it's a cell that's not functioning properly or it's a part of the actual endocrine glands, whatever it may be, something's not functioning properly due to that toxicity in that body, and then your downward effect is infertility.
So we have a unique ability as humans, and all life form wants to survive. So we can survive, but thrival is different. So every single person listening, I mean, we all ought to have a detoxification strategy in place that constantly stays in place. It might evolve a little bit
and change,
but so many times the symptom that people are running around chasing, like, oh, I'm having infertility issues, they put all their energy into trying to maximize the body's output so that you can become pregnant, but they're not cleaning up the internal environment that is constantly absorbing stuff. So we don't claim to be detox experts, although parts of it we might be, but we work with different practitioners locally in the community that we partner with to really help you understand and build out a plan to help clean up your environment.
I mean, if you're local, if you're in Central Oregon, I mean, even if you're not, if you're listening from somewhere else in the country, there is a clinic in town that I absolutely love called Engedi Wellness, and Engedi Wellness centers are trying to help people detox, and a lot of times they will come from some of the bigger contributors, being the heavy metal, the mold detoxing, all of that comes into play, and they have worked with a lot of our patients, whether it's kids or adults or families, and it's a great starting point if you're anywhere in the area. If you want more information, just reach out, direct message us, whatever it may be, and we can get you insights to that.
Yes. So I would always compare this to, like, eventually you have to clean your car. Okay, so if you live in Central Oregon, you might be like, oh, once a month I take it through the car wash. Or maybe you're like, once a week I take it through the car wash. We need to be doing the same things for our body, and we cannot overlook that. Mm-hmm. And I always tell folks, when's the time to start? As early as possible.
Yep.
So if you're like a listener and you're 18 years old and you don't even have someone that you're with, like, now's the time to start preparing. Definitely. If you believe that down the road you want to have a family, men and women, earlier is better.
100%. Let's go to nutrition. Before we go supplementation, let's go nutrition, because I think putting supplements on top of a crummy diet is doing just that. You're just putting supplements on top of a crummy diet. So you want to use supplement to actually supplement what's going on. Supplement means to add to.
Yeah.
So let's talk nutrition, and what can we do nutritionally when we are having issues with fertility?
Yeah, well, the obvious, and this is the hardest one, but the most obvious one, is you got to eat right for your design, which means, and if you follow like the news and what's happening with the food system, you can't know it and say that our food system is not destroyed.
Yeah.
So you got to eat right for human biology, which means just step one is start eating like our body was designed to eat. Mm-hmm. Basic stuff. Eliminate processed foods. Remove sugar from your diet. Anything that is full of dyes, chemicals, you can eat organic. Like, let's just put that on the table and then skip past it. You got to be eating right for human existence.
Yeah.
It's amazing how long we can live by eating poorly, but that doesn't mean that we should, especially if we're having some hurdles with fertility. So number one, just completely revamp your diet and get back to the basics of the major food groups that I tell people the food groups are: vegetables, organic fruits, grass-fed, grass-finished,
wild caught,
proteins, okay, small amounts of nuts and seeds, and stick to that and you'll be good, okay?
One of the biggest contributors they found nutritionally when it comes to fertility is people that aren't metabolically flexible. So, like, what does that mean to be metabolically flexible? It usually means that this person has some sort of insulin resistance. So when you look at all disease, insulin resistance, metabolic issues is the third leading cause of death within the United States. So that's the first thing you need to do. You really need to see, how many insulin spikes are you getting throughout the day? It's really, they always say the 14-10 rule is the best rule when you're trying to get your fertility right. It means a 14-hour window of fasting. That's called an intermittent fast. So 14 hours of fasting and then 10 hours of an eating window. So you're not eating before that 10 or after that 10. You really are keeping it in there. Yeah. And you have to know, even if you like go to your pantry and you're in the 12th hour and you have like one or two little things, you're still going to get an insulin spike into your bloodstream. You're still going to get glucose in the bloodstream, so insulin is going to spike at that time. So now you're outside of that window. I don't think people realize how many times they snack and eat throughout the day.
Yeah, the average person has, I think it's 17, I could be off by a couple, but 17 separate insulin spikes throughout the day.
Like, that's a problem.
That's a problem when a healthy individual should have, one every time they eat a meal. So maybe 3 to 4.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's the insulin, ladies, that drives a lot of hormone production around menstruation. And this is something that, I didn't learn until 5-6 years ago. So the insulin is responsible for engaging certain hormonal pathways to start reacting in the system. And if you're getting all these insulin spikes, it just really, now we know it really does cause the hormonal system to just go haywire.
It really does. When we have all those insulin spikes, what it does, it actually causes the mitochondria in our cell to not function properly. If you ever took cellular biology, you only think that there's one mitochondria because that's what you drew every single time, but there's not. There's like, what is it? Do you know? You remember? It's like 20,000
it's
mitochondria in one cell, which is nuts. So you really have to heal those mitochondria because that's actually your powerhouse that's going to convert that food into energy. But a lot of us, all of our mitochondria are broken because we've been eating all of this time. So if you can dial in your food, get your insulin dialed in.
And we're a huge fan of intermittent fasting.
We are a huge fan of it. But to heal that mitochondria well, you have to dial your sleep in 7 to 9 hours. You got to get deep, deep sleep with that. And then sunlight. Sunlight's one of the best things you can use to get your mitochondria healed at a cellular level. And when you get that done, now when you're fasting and when you're eating, you can actually use that food as fuel and not just putting it into the system that's already broken. So those are my other suggestions when it's going to come to food and trying to heal those cells so that your hormones can start getting balanced back out.
It sounds super basic and simple, but we're like, hey, look, how do you start? Get adjusted, get your nervous system working. Step 1. Step 2, clean up your environment and start opening up your detox pathways. Mm-hmm. Step 3, eat like our body was designed to eat.
I know. You're saying it's simple. You're hearing it as
simple.
I was like, you're hearing it as simple, but
it is hard.
It is hard.
It is hard because we live in a broken world. Mm-hmm. It is hard, but this shouldn't be like this, enlightening news to anybody. But this can be a nudge to get someone to be like, okay, I hear these guys. I'm going to start working this process starting today, and I'm going to start getting my body back to the way that it was designed to be.
Yeah. I mean, to tell someone that you need sunlight, I know that that's not revolutionary. It makes sense because it makes sense that we're supposed to get the sun because the sun gives us energy. But people have been told over and over and over again that you need to avoid the sun.
Right.
And that's not the case. Your body actually needs it. Your cells need it on a cellular level. Literally, you need like the first hour of sun and the last hour of sun to help balance out your hormones. Like nobody tells people that. So it's so simple.
It's so simple and it has such massive impacts. It's just like, we live in a world that sits at a computer screen all day.
That breaks that breaks down your mitochondria. That's a problem.
If you're struggling with infertility, as much important as it to eat, it's important to get into the sun. It's important to move.
It's important to sleep.
Like move.
It is important to move. That should be our next one.
So we just look at natural biology and it's like, just go back 1,000 years and think about how people lived. Mm-hmm.
When our fertility rates were the highest. People were out like working the fields, the men were going hunting, they were fasting for days. The women were gathering and they were fasting for days and taking care of kids and moving all day and in the sun and not eating processed foods, and they were just... And our clock was set like by the sun. Yeah. So you got up when it was light and you went to bed when it was dark. Like, because you weren't trying to trick your brain and your body into it. So it's getting back to all those simplistic things that's going to help you balance out those hormones.
Yes.
All right, from there, supplementation. Let's talk supplements.
Yes. Well, I'll bring up a couple things for guys and you can bring up a couple of things for women.
Good.
So also, we did a whole podcast on this. The testosterone rates in men are plummeting. And most men don't know where their testosterone is at unless they get tested. And I encourage men to go get tested. But here's the trend for the men. The men is testosterone levels are down across the board, like scary low in young men. The trend is testosterone replacement therapy. So TRT is exploding in middle-aged men right now. And I'm telling men, do not do that until you've done some of these other things. So step one would be just getting tested, doing all the things we already discussed. And then step two would be, okay, how can I change my lifestyle to increase my testosterone levels naturally? Because once you artificially elevate those things, you're going down a rocky road for the rest of your life.
Yep.
So there are some supplements that I recommend for men. My favorite one right now, I take it, Dr. Brent takes it. It's called Epic Tea. The research is off the chains on it. It's an all-natural product. And the main driver to help natural production of testosterone inside of your body is fenugreek seed. So trust me, the research is astounding. So we take this supplement every single day, and we couple it with something called vascular defense, which helps with blood circulation in the body. And it's an enzymatic formula. Women can take this too. Yep. Women can take the Epic Tea as well, because it's not replacing, it's encouraging the natural production in your body. And the vascular defense, coupled with something like the Epic Tea, the fenugreek compound, coupled with some of the other herbs, Tangat Ali, Fidojo agresti, and Tribulus.
Tribulus women can also take.
Women can take all of these, because they're helping drive natural production of sexual hormones. Mm-hmm. So I'm a huge fan of these as step one.
That's great.
And then, of course, the diet, the exercise, the sunlight, that stuff is, it all goes together.
Yes.
Okay.
Wheat germ oil is going to be super important, because wheat germ oil is going to help with cell signaling. It's going to help. You have to have fats for those hormones. If you don't have fat, your hormones are always going to be out of balance. So making sure that you have a fat that you can use on the cell. And then as women, I always say women, we make energy out of very specific organs. It's going to come from our pituitary, our thyroid, our adrenals, and our uterus and our ovaries. So some of my favorite supplements are Simplex F, which is a standard process supplement. Whole food supplementation, it's all of those organ tissue, put into a supplement so you can support all of those organs. And then there's one called Ovex, which is super, super helpful during that time of infertility. So those are my recommendations as well.
So the takeaway message here is we're empathizing with the community and what's happening right now in society. And I promise the listener that the only way out of this is to address it yourself.
Yeah, no one's coming to save you at this point. You really need to take control into your own hands and cleaning it up. And it might just be one thing at a time. Yeah. Get on it, make it a habit, move on to the next thing. Get on it, make it a habit, move on to the next thing. Give yourself time.
And when I say take it on yourself, I mean start making these lifestyle changes that we've discussed very briefly here, and then finding the right professionals to help you navigate that specific piece that you're dealing with. So I'm not saying go about it alone. I'm saying take the responsibility in your own hands, and you can then start driving the health conversation for yourself so that we can put this behind us.
Yeah.
But it is, it's certainly a systemic approach for both men and women, and it's not going to get fixed with a drug.
Women, I need to also say, actually men both, we need to talk about really fast the home environment and what that looks like, the products we're using. Women, hair care products, beauty products, all the stuff we put on our body. I think by the time we're done just getting ready in the morning, we have over 70 different foreign chemicals that were never meant to be on our bodies on there, whether it's through your lotion or your shampoo or your makeup. 90% of lipstick has lead in it. So this is a problem. Not only are we introducing heavy metals, we're introducing forever chemicals into us.
Hormone disruptors.
All of them are hormone disruptors. All of them are estrogen, estradiols, which is a fake estrogen. and they're coming into our system in rampant numbers. Men too. That's also why men have low testosterone. Their estrogen is high. That's why they get their man boobs. I mean, that's why they put on weight around the middle. It's to help continue to build estrogen in the system and store it. So these are all things you need to look at. The second one is the plastics. You have to get plastics away from any of your fertility organs. So men, if you're wearing a nylon, a rayon, a polyester underwear, it's got to go. They were putting polyester underwear on dogs. Whoever did a study, I don't know. But they found out that those dogs became infertile for a period of time after wearing it, and their fertility rates plummeted. It affected men worse than it affected women, but both of them had major, major issues with fertility following it. You have to get rid of your synthetic materials. Females, bras that are synthetic, finding cotton bras, hemp bras. There is wool ones out there. So these are all different things that you can look for when it comes to those materials. You have to get rid of them. So look at your home care products. All the synthetic fragrances are estrogen based. So your colognes, your perfumes, gotta nick them. So all of those things are the last thing that you need. And this last component that really has to get looked at, because they know that all of these products are causing infertility.
Yes, they do.
So, anything else?
No. We're here to support you guys.
Yep.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed today's episode, subscribe to our YouTube channel and, of course, download the app. We appreciate you guys. And if there's something else you'd like us to cover, just let us know.
Yep.
And we'll do the best job we can. Okay? Have a wonderful day.